Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, I'm going to start this off here. Alright, thanks everyone for joining us. We have Corey Seager now available. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. First question is from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead, Alana.
Hi, Corey. Thanks for taking the time to do this. Just wanted to ask you how it's been going for you as far as preparation is concerned during a very uncertain time.
It's been going good. We've been able to kind of get in and do what we need to do and have enough time to do it. And obviously, the buildup of innings is a little rushed, but we're making the best of what we can.
Speaking of buildup, your body looks like it's built up. Your arms look bigger, your legs look stronger. What were you doing in the off season, or this COVID period, I should say, to get your body where it is now?
Yeah, fortunately enough, I got to work out here and just kind of build off the off season. This was the first off season that I really had to be able to just kind of get right into strength training again and not have to worry about healing anything or worrying about anything. So I guess the silver lining to this was I just kind of got an extended off season.
Are you still doing dairy free?
I am.
What was your opinion, or did you ever have any consideration to not playing once MLB and the Players Association came to an agreement? Was there ever a doubt in your mind you'd come back?
No, there wasn't in mine. You completely understand other people's reasonings and why they want to, family, their own issues. It's completely understandable, but no, there wasn't a doubt in mine.
For whatever this summer camp period is worth, as far as moving forward to the regular season, you seem incredibly locked in at the plate. To what do you attribute that success that you've had so far in these intra-squad games?
Yeah, luck, I guess. You're always happy to get hits. But, working out here, we had a bunch of guys, so we still got to kind of see some live ABs. So you weren't away from it too long from spring training. There was probably a month or two there where we weren't. But, I've had a few extra ABs before everybody else. So I'm just maybe a little further ahead that way-wise. I wouldn't contribute to anything probably other than that, though.
How grateful are you that you've had that time and the health to get ready for this season?
Yeah, it honestly has been a blessing. It's kind of the silver lining like that. Just to be able to kind of get back to the physicality that you want to. I felt like I was there. I felt like I was ready in spring training, and I was definitely ahead of where I've been the last couple of years. But those few extra months definitely did help a lot.
Thank you, Corey.
Yep, thank you.
Next question is from Rowan Cavner. Go ahead, Rowan.
Hey, Corey, kind of along those lines, how far removed do you feel from 2018 and the surgeries that you had to get over? And do you still have to maintain your body in any way or do anything to kind of adjust for what you went through?
Nothing more than just kind of maintenance stuff. I still go through some arm care stuff. Obviously, the working out and the little bit of just kind of extra hip stuff that I do just as more of a precaution than a need, to be honest with you. I don't really need to do much on that side, but on the arm side, it's just like the normal. I kind of go through a pitcher's program now instead of just not doing anything kind of thing.
And then you mentioned that you got to do a lot of working out at the stadium recently. How curious were you to see how you'd look against pitchers after the time off? And did you feel as locked in, in your practicing as you look now?
Obviously really fortunate to just kind of be a little bit ahead, but other than that, it was just nice to have some guys around and still kind of feel a part of baseball even without it, so just being around the guys, being able to get a few extra ABs was definitely huge.
Thank you.
Next question. Go ahead. Next question is from JP Hornstra. Go ahead. Go ahead, JP.
Hey, Corey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. There was a report earlier today saying that 11 umpires were going to be opting out. I'm assuming that they'll be replaced with rookie umpires, part-time umpires. I'm just wondering, as a player, how much of a difference that makes. Like, do you notice specific instances where the experience level of an umpire really does come into play?
You know, it's an interesting. You know, it's kind of like a player's perspective. You know, you understand why those guys opt out and knowing the risks and knowing all that stuff. So, I mean, other than an important playoff game, World Series kind of thing where they got to keep a cooler head, you know, the day-to-day is probably pretty normal. You know, there obviously might be a few hiccups here and there, and more just trying to get to know those guys and knowing new names and stuff like that. That's probably would be the biggest difference.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Next question is from Alden Gonzalez. Go ahead, Alden. Go ahead, Alden.
Hey, Corey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Corey, just I'm curious if Major League Baseball is able to see this season all the way through, and if you guys were to actually win it all this year, how would you feel about a World Series championship this year, maybe compared to other years? And in your mind, would it be lessened in any way, just given circumstances?
No, not at all. You know, everybody's going through the same thing. Everybody's playing the same amount of games. Everybody has the same issues as everybody else, and to be the last man standing is to be the last man standing. So there would be no difference for me.
Have you given much thought to what a socially distant World Series celebration would look like?
I haven't. That probably would be a very interesting thing to think about. But you know, that's a long way away, and we're just trying to get to the start of the year.
Thanks, Corey.
Yep. Thank you.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Corey, kind of following up on that, how awkward have some of these protocols been? No spitting, no high fives, carrying your own cooler, water, all that stuff. Yeah,
it's definitely been different. It's weird not shaking hands and giving knuckles and all that other stuff, and it's something that you're gonna have to just kind of work on still. But it's what we got to do, and it's what we got to do to play. So we're figuring it out the best we can.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jorge. Next question is from Michael Duarte. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Corey, how are you? And congrats on your engagement.
Thank you.
I'm just wondering, you said, you kind of enjoyed that 4-month hiatus a little bit, be able to, get some work in and get ready and get your body and mind ready for the start of this season. But outside of, baseball activities and working out, what kind of sort of leisurely things did you do? I saw you playing golf. So how's your golf swing, and what other things were you doing during that 4-month break?
Yeah, my golf swing definitely needs some work. But, spending a lot of time with family, with my fiance, with our dog, it was nice to kind of be able to do that. Normally at this time we wouldn't be able to have that, so we definitely took advantage of that for sure.
Next question is from Clint Cias. Go ahead, Clint.
Hey, Corey. Obviously, you're an admitted video guy. You like being able to kind of see your swing in game and all that. We know there's a lot of changes. We won't say why so much, but is there anything you guys are kind of implementing right now, in these intra-squad games, things you're using to sort of see your swing in real time?
Honestly, I'm trying to get used to it. Trying to not have that available. Trying to just kind of get through the game, rely on some feels, and not so much going back and looking at film. So it's been interesting so far. It's not necessarily great. You wish you could kind of have that back, but it's what we got to do. So we're moving forward with it.
What would you say it seems to be kind of working for you so far?
Yeah, I guess maybe, but it's definitely one of those things you'd like to have and you'd like to be able to use.
Great, thanks.
Yep, thank you.
We have another question from Luana Rizzo. Go to Luana.
Corey, what's the one thing you find yourself catching yourself that you're not allowed to do anymore? Is it the high five? Is it sitting too close to a teammate? What's been the weirdest thing for you to get used to?
Yeah, probably the high fives and just kind of in the dugout. It's weird not sitting beside somebody. You kind of do it and you try and move away and then you're still trying to talk. So definitely the celebrating on high fives and throwing the ball around, kind of stuff like that. It's been interesting for sure.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
Another question from Edith Noriega. Go ahead, Edith. A question from Ron Cervinka. Go ahead, Ron.
Hey, Corey, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
The other day I asked Doc, with the success that you're having, that you were calling luck, if he thought about bubble wrapping you or kind of taking it back because you look like you're really ready. Are there things that you still need to work on within the next week or week and a half or so?
Yeah, you gotta play. You can't just kind of sit back and wait. You still gotta build up innings. You still gotta get out there and just get on your feet and move around with people. You can't just kind of sit back and wait. So it's just kind of getting out there and being out there and being out there every day.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
We have one final question from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
All right, do you hear me now, Corey?
Yeah.
All right, man. Sorry, apologies for my inability to figure out a laptop.
No problem.
Just, how do you feel about crowd noise? Are you cool with playing an empty stadium, a silent stadium, or would you rather play with some artificial piped-in noise?
Definitely some artificial noise. The silent games they're tough. It's hard to communicate with your teammates. It's hard to communicate without people hearing. So just a little bit of background noise definitely goes a long way with being able to kind of game plan and talk through some stuff without people being able to hear.
And just one more thing. Last week, a couple of guys mentioned that you guys were in talks, the players themselves, you guys were in talks of having some kind of off-field kind of, I don't know, code of conduct is the right way to go about it, but maybe some rules as to where you guys go, what you guys do. Have you guys talked more about that? Is something that's been decided on? What's sort of the status of that?
Yeah, nothing's been decided yet, but you definitely have to have that. Now more than ever, you kind of have to be responsible what you do when you go home, because if you do something stupid, you put the rest of the team in risk, and it's going to be the last man kind of standing this year. So we need to be smart on and off the field.
Cool, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Corey. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome, thank you guys.